Smart Mouth Podcast. We are live from LA.
We are live. Finally back. Back in the space. You know, not a lot of people know, but we've been out for what, 3 weeks almost.
I had COVID.
Yeah, you had COVID.
Yeah.
And after you were like, "Give me COVID, give me COVID."
Thank God. I'm feeling blessed.
They gave it to you. Like
they gave it to me. I had it. It's done. I got the antibodies.
Yeah, the lords of COVID have blessed you.
Yeah.
My God.
People are not gonna be happy because they're gonna see a few less masks on me.
Right.
But
you be like, hey, I got it. It be like that sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't be going out to a restaurant and expecting like everybody to like not wear, like, you're gonna not wear a mask when you're at a restaurant, right?
Just impossible. How am I supposed to eat, bro?
So like all these voluntary things now that the vaccine is in play. I got the virus. I'm the safest person in the room.
Right. Technically, yeah.
We just gotta let it rock.
Yeah, you gotta let it rock, bro. You know, like somehow you caught it, and I was with you, and your girl,
Yep.
and then like we actually like shared a little joint together, and then like, dude, like somehow
Not me.
Not
I would
you.
die.
Everybody
That would take me out more than COVID could ever take me out.
really,
If I had the smallest puff of a marijuana joint,
yeah.
I'm dead.
That's how you know. It's gonna affect you because you call it marijuana.
A marijuana joint.
A marijuana joint.
Marijuana joint would kill me.
So,
Not for me, bud.
but why though? I'm actually curious to ask this question because like,
Just heightens my anxiety. Like,
yeah,
it makes me immediately start communicating with God.
interesting.
Yeah. Like when people talk about a DMT trip,
Mhm.
that's my experience on weed.
On weed,
Ayahuasca, that's my experience on weed.
really?
Yeah.
I-
Not enjoyable.
Interesting. You know, I've almost tried to go beyond weed, and for the most part, it actually isn't worth it.
Yeah, I feel very blessed that my experience with drugs just died at weed.
Yeah,
So it's just done.
that is a good thing. That is a bit of a blessing because you don't want to be like, well, that didn't work. Let's try more. Let's try harder stuff.
I probably would have got too much into anything else, and that would have been a disaster.
Yeah,
Because I know I'd be really good at cocaine.
Yeah, hey, you know, people are pretty good at cocaine.
Just if weed doesn't work for you, I'm guessing coke doesn't. So I'm not playing both.
You know, I met people that are just like, they almost like shunned weed like it was disgusting, but they were like, yeah, I do cocaine.
See, if I weren't careful, I think that could have been me,
I'm
and
like,
so that's why it ended up being that.
right. I'm like it's a little weird. They're like, yeah, like I party in coke, but like weed, ugh. I've seen people like that, like ugh, at it. Like I'm just
Ugh.
like, first of all, ugh,
Oh, because they think like cocaine's like a rich person drug.
maybe
Potentially, right? Something like that.
maybe, but they're just like, oh, I like to be up. I know this one South African girl. She's like, I like to be up. It makes me party, you know. And weed makes me very sleepy, you know. South Africans, you know, I have a weird relationship with South Africans. I don't
Really?
South Africans have a weird relationship with everyone in the world because, you know, there are a strange breed of people. But I'm not gonna get into that right now.
We're live on YouTube today.
Yeah, we are live.
You can find us on Spotify.
Google Podcasts, Apple Music,
Anywhere you
Podcasts.
find your podcast.
Anywhere.
We're out here.
Yeah. There's other podcast platforms that that I'm sure we have listeners listening all over the world now,
Yep.
and I'm pretty pumped about that. Like, and we're growing, and like that's what gets me really excited about our podcast. I think we're on episode 13. This is our unluckiest episode, and
But 23 subscribers.
but
Are you kidding?
Are you kidding, bro? Like, we love you all 23 subscribers, bro. That's dang. You know, and if you guys are watching this while at the time we have way more, just know right now we have 23 subscribers on what day is it? Is it March 31st, 2021.
That's Hair Razor Coffee.
We got Hair Razor Coffee in
You
the
gotta
building.
love it. We out here.
So if you didn't know, our sponsor, our unofficial sponsor is Hair Razor Coffee because
Yeah.
that's all we've been drinking. So
This is the bag.
Yeah.
Bag.
yeah, so we're gonna
Comes
get
every
it.
2 weeks. We are in a conflict with them.
We're in a conflict.
sponsorship conflict.
Yeah.
We've addressed it on the last podcast.
We're
We
in
don't
the-
need to talk about it anymore.
Because it's in the courts. It's in the courts. So we're gonna figure that out. Eventually, once we figure out what the courts decide, then we'll move on from there.
So, Cam, what's been coming across your news desk? this
Dude,
week?
you know, there's a lot that's going up my news desk. We can talk about a number of things first, but what I'm trying to figure out is I saw something on the news today, on my news site today.
Okay.
In 2020, deaths in the U.S. jumped by 16%. It's kind of a lot.
Seems like a lot.
Seems like a lot. You know, obviously due to coronavirus, right? And like, okay, like, yeah, like, you know, coronavirus is a big deal, But believe it or not, it actually wasn't the number one killer. Can you believe it?
Well, I mean, it's being probably chubby, right?
Cancer and heart disease are 1 and 2. Coronavirus is number 3.
Okay.
So the lead, I believe the
So
lead.
that's
the leading was
my
heart disease.
my heart disease one. That's just being a little chubby.
Yeah,
'Cause Americans are chubby.
yeah. It's hard to get heart disease once you're healthy. It's kind of difficult.
It's like a chubby disease.
Yeah,
But, and that's why it's profoundly American disease, probably.
yeah.
I would like to see the statistics on, like, what are other countries' leading causes of death.
Yeah.
I bet not all countries are heart disease like us.
Not all, but like but we did expand McDonald's into other countries, so we probably just gave it to everyone else. But like a lot of times they talk about like leading heart causes of heart disease, like food, diet, and not in exercise, but like the food you eat, basically,
Right.
essentially, and it's essentially the food you eat and the food you drink, and it's usually like processed foods, crap that the American diet is just so used to,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the leading causes of deaths in 2020. Number 3 was coronavirus. Everyone was tripping so hard about coronavirus. Don't get me wrong, serious. We don't like it. We don't want it. But at the same time, the leading cause of death in the United States was essentially being chubby.
Right. Well, and I think it's interesting because I still correlate most of our COVID deaths
Yeah.
probably to our horrible diet in the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all kind of a combination of the same. When I hear
Yeah.
heart disease, cancer, COVID,
Right.
that's kind of like you're telling me the same thing.
Yeah. Like
it's just like what ended up getting you.
bad health, bad health, bad health.
And also with the way that the liability thing worked out with insurances and or however like the health professionals needed,
Mhm.
every single person, if you had COVID in your system at all,
Mhm.
you got that tally. I'm
Yeah.
surprised that COVID only ended up getting number 3
Yeah.
with any death.
Right.
Motorcycle accident with COVID had
yeah.
COVID ticker on there.
Oh yeah. George Floyd had COVID.
But just plain heart disease still just comes up front and just cleaning house.
Right. Almost anything that comes up for the past year, like regardless of what your issues were coming up in place, like your pre-existing conditions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It all started. It all ends with COVID, but it all starts with something else.
It starts and ends with our shitty diet.
Yeah,
And
it starts with energy.
that's what's crazy is, you just, and we probably already beat this horse dead like
Yeah.
1,000 times, but I'm just baffled that you just don't hear Fauci as much as he's talking about mask up, social distance. He's not saying eat an apple.
Eat an apple, go for a walk, like with a mask on, sure, whatever, right? But like, get some food that doesn't like clog up your throat and immune system and clog up your chest and shit.
Yeah.
Like what do you call it? Like your chest cavities,
Mhm.
Like get the foods that clears out your system, not like adds to the crap inside
Because it's
of it.
the inflammation thing that gets really dicey.
Yeah, inflammation and just foods that are just not supposed to be there, interacting with your small intestine, big intestines, whatever, that are not meant to be there. And so, of course, your body, your human flesh, which is like all this stuff. I'm so not coming with words, but like, you have a normal body that's accepting all this like fake stuff. Of course, it's going to react negatively to it.
I wonder what I would like to see going head to head. Yeah, get that off.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
It's 80 degrees.
You
still
see
in
this?
Los Angeles.
I am shining on the podcast right now, like a fucking.
So it's 6 o'clock, or what are we? 6:30 now?
Yeah.
We're a little late to the pod. But LA, it's 80 degrees now.
Yeah.
We're feeling this spring summer stuff coming in heavy immediately.
Yeah, we're super screwed because at the time, like right now, it is March, the end of March, April. Like, the fires are coming back in California. I'm gonna tell you right now. I can tell by like I live in California long enough to know how bad the fires are gonna be this year. Like a year.
You think they're gonna be rolling?
Yeah. By the time like March comes around, I can tell how bad summer's gonna be. And if it's already hot now, I mean August is gonna be really fun. I tell you that right now. The air's gonna be screwed. Everybody's just gonna be unhappy. They're gonna be like, "How come the fire department's not doing their job? The cleanup, the fire department crew's not doing enough." And every year it's the same shit over and over again. And then back in the wintertime, all the fire departments just like, "Oh, that was too much. I guess I'm gonna rest."
Be
Flying. So, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that turns out, right?
They'll blame it on Lil Nas X.
Well, they'll blame it on Lil Nas X burning the whole world in hell. Let me turn this thing off real quick. But basically, a little bit about Lil Nas X. You see, I showed you the video, right?
I saw the video.
You saw.
I've only watched the video once. To be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah, you watched the video once. I watched it with you the second time, and you know, what was your impressions of it? What did you get for the first time?
Well, okay. What do we got? Looks like a white guy made a duty. Oh, did I make a duty?
Didn't you just poop? Not moments ago.
I've been drinking coffee all day.
Yeah. So I mean, he kind of did. But go ahead. So, what did you think of Lil Nas' video?
So, well, this is a difficult topic for us to be able to discuss.
Yeah.
We always got to preface things in America now.
Yeah.
You know,
you gotta prep them
so
ahead of time.
am a white male.
Oh, okay.
That's where you start.
Oh yeah.
And then I am also heterosexual.
Yeah.
So that's where I preface this conversation, where it's always like, for when people are saying you have no business talking about this.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I get it.
I, a black man, is giving him permission to talk about this right now in this moment because the black community, or I said he can.
But you're a heterosexual man.
I am a heterosexual man, yeah.
Well,
But whatever. Go ahead.
So when we're talking about Lil Nas X and starting to break down what's going on with this video,
yeah,
he is coming out and talking about this in the context of basically America made me do this. Right? Like, this is the feeling that I get as being a gay guy in the United States.
Right.
There is so much criticism. There's obviously like racial suppression as well. As who I am myself, this is what I've been feeling. You guys demonized me. This is me basically kind of like poking the bear.
Yeah.
Or just wearing the crown, or more like the horns.
Right.
Of it's like, you're gonna tell me I'm the devil. Fuck it, I'm the devil.
I'm gonna be the devil.
But in a weird way, where he thinks he finally is like taking ownership in the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's playing himself more than he's playing all of us. As like a Christian dude, this type of imagery, people think that you can just play with it. To me, it gets a little bit more dicey than that.
Yeah.
And this is like one of those fables that's been played out too many times.
Over time, yeah.
And he thinks he's taking the reins of the thing. And I really think he's giving the ownership of this over to like some really evil forces. Yeah. And it gets dicey quick.
Yeah. I think what's tough is that, like, you know, Lil Nas X is really interesting. If you guys aren't familiar with the new video of Montero that he came out with, go watch it. I don't want to really explain too much of the video, but basically, it starts with oh my god, I'm forgetting. Basically,
he's in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah, he's in the Garden of Eden. The devil comes ahead of him, tempts him. He basically, essentially, he gets what he essentially wanted in life. He dies. He goes.
The devil goes down on him.
The devil goes down on him. He goes to Judgment Day, and everyone's casting his stones on him.
And I think that's like supposed to be talking about how like America or the society
judges him
out homosexual individuals, right?
Yeah, cast on him for being tempted by the devil. Essentially, that's probably what he's trying to say. I'm trying to get what he's trying to say. And then like he goes to Judgment Day. He gets cast down. He's slowly going
kind of ascending into heaven. And then he grabs a stripper pole and then strips his way all the way, like he just humps the pole all the way down to hell. And then when he gets to hell, he walks up to the devil and he lap dances the devil, and then he seduces him, climbs behind him, cracks his neck, and then becomes him. So yeah.
So
and then now he's coming out with it seemed to be like a collab with Nike. It's not. It's this other random brand.
Yeah, that's why Nike.
But like with the Satan sneakers 666 on it, some Bible verse that references Satan.
Yeah.
And then a drop of human blood.
Yeah.
That comes with every sneaker.
Right.
Or in every sneaker somehow.
Is it actual drop of human blood?
Yeah, I guess it's one of the employees from the brand they're collabing with.
That's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. And I don't know if it's in the sneaker or like available with the box as like kind of like a party favor or treat.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it came with an actual drop of blood. That's
yeah, drop of human blood with every sneaker.
Yeah.
And there's only 666 pairs.
Right. I like how you're like the person who took the blood out. They're like, yeah, like what are you doing this for? And they're like, I'm taking my blood out for money. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And no one gets it. Like people aren't really getting the thing is
what is it?
You were saying I was straight last week, but that video made me gay.
Yeah. I get it. The video it really makes me think a little bit about a lot of artists coming into play, and the stereotype in the stereotype coming into like a big artist coming from nothing into being a big artist. Basically, they basically say like, oh, you have to go through the music industry, the devil, and you have to become like a part of their little cult to be big in the music industry, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's something Illuminati-esque happening in the background to make your music better, to make your music play on all the stations. You have to do this, and this, right?
But everyone says like the devil is at work.
The devil is at work, right?
Yeah.
And then what gets me a little Nas X comes out and like he creates this video and like he's not hiding anything. He's showing almost like a full-blown representation of like what he is doing and like what's going to happen when what's going to happen when people are casting him aside and calling him all these names and stuff, and what's how he's going to basically go down to hell and be okay with it and be happy with it, essentially.
Yeah.
I think it's a little strange, a little bit for like, for Christians and as well as like a black man to be like watching that and like a kid maybe watching that, and it's just like a little strange to me because you are, I mean, forget that it's obviously a bad example, but like you're showing it as an example. I'm like, this is the way that you have to go to get what you want. You have to go through the devil, essentially, and that is nowhere near true. And but that's almost like the devil's lie. Like you have to go through me to get what you want.
Well, and so then my opinion on it is, where as like just a Christian guy, and as like a heterosexual guy, who has friends that are gay,
right,
and understands how like normal of a relationship those individuals can have with like society, or with their partners, it was nice to see a person like Lil Nas X be an example in like the ether of entertainment of just this like normal young black dude that just happened to be gay,
right?
That just it didn't have all of the kind of pre-existing expectations that you would always hear this kind of like damning Christianity come at it with, of saying like, hey, it's like being gay is being very like sexually explicit, or it's having a kind of an inappropriate relationship with sex and with your partners, and there is like having a Satanistic side to it, or you know what I mean, like all of that. It was nice to have a figure in society that was like, oh, or you could just be like a normal person.
I just be a cowboy,
to like dudes,
right?
And so that's where I hope my opinion doesn't like bother my friends,
right?
But I go, dude, this type of thing makes it more difficult,
right?
Then I get it that like I'm sure his life was very difficult and all those types of things,
right?
But as like just like a Christian dude who like was supporting Lil Nas X, this makes it so much more difficult.
It makes it hard, and it's like in the people, like the whole stereotype of like what happened when Lil Nas X came out as gay after his Old Town Road music video. There was all this backlash about like all these Christian families talking about like, wow, like I don't want my kids to listen to this because I don't want them to listen to this Satanistic music. That
because it'll like alter your soul and it'll take you down a bad path.
Right. And I disagreed with the people who said that. Of
course.
And I disagree with them. But like at the same time, you are making those people that said that right, essentially, because like he's like because you're saying like the Satanistic music, you're literally twerking on Satan. Like that's where
it's like he thinks he's playing society, but he's playing himself kind of.
You're kind of playing yourself, and not only playing yourself, you're just, I don't know, man, like you're making a bad example for young artists, especially in different walks of life that already have it like maybe difficult. Basically saying like, like this is the way you got to do it, man. Like you got to go this way.
Yeah, and that's why
I don't like that.
Like I don't think it's anybody's responsibility to I don't think it's like your responsibility as like a black dude to like take on the responsibility for all other black people.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
so it's like,
that's
true.
true.
So you need to speak for all black people when you're doing this.
Right.
Right. And I don't think your actions should interrupt the next black dude's future.
Right.
I don't think like your actions should represent his actions and
vice
versa.
Right.
But what's tough with him is he was like this new young gay artist, and I don't expect him to have to speak for all young gay artists.
Right.
But I don't think he makes it easier for the next one with this video.
Yeah.
That's what's difficult, right?
Yeah, and we're talking.
And I'm not saying for me, but for like, just how our community sometimes responds to shit like this.
Yeah. It's not making it good. And like, even like a African American perspective, like the whole stereotype is almost like, oh, you get big in the music industry, they're gonna turn you out. You get big in the acting industry, all these industries, the industry is gonna make you do other things that you didn't want to do. They're gonna make you they're gonna do all this. That's the stereotype, which I barely even agree with. But like, it's almost like it's a almost self-perpetuating prophecy with these guys that are just doing it and like becoming it, and then like it starts to, I don't know, like I said, like for the next person that's coming up and board, like it's just like they think that that's the way to go, and
because it's not like he's making a Christian song and he's saying, hey, you think you can define me, I will define me.
Right.
I can have faith and I can do all this stuff without your blessing.
Right.
Because I don't need your blessing.
Right.
He's saying, if you call me the devil, I'll just become it and have fun with that.
Right.
Which in all of these like heavily bashing people that think they have any ability to judge or damn people, it just doesn't, it like literally, it proves their fucking point, which I don't think it does prove their point.
Right.
But he makes it seem like that validates a lot of that stuff. So
it's tough.
It's a difficult conversation to have.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I don't think he made his career easier with this.
No.
I think it's an easy way to get clicks in this chaotic world of ours.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see. I mean, when it comes down to it, we will freaking find out. I mean, at the end of the day, I do wish all best for him. But like, you know, it doesn't. And I get that you're not necessarily representing, like, if you want to represent yourself, fine, represent yourself. But like, please understand that you also have other people that like you do represent, like, regardless. You know, and that's what when people say, like, your dad might have said, like, yeah, represent yourself. Because other people are watching. When you literally have a global stage, millions of people are watching, and millions of people will be influenced by it. That's why you are who you are on that stage, because if you don't have any influence, why are you up there in the first place?
Well, and he did talk about it was either like Time or Rolling Stone, where he was like, well, I want to be a part of conversation, and I wanted this to be a conversation piece. Dude,
but you already are in the conversation.
Do you really want to be a part of, though? Like, what role do you want to have in conversation?
Yeah,
that's a tough one, and that's why I'm not coming out like I have a role in this conversation. Right. Just being a person and talking about this on this airway.
Right.
I don't want to be like this bashing guy to Lil Nas X and saying like, "Fuck you, Lil Nas X. You're going to hell." I don't believe any of those things.
Right.
I just don't think that he's making his road easier.
Right.
He's just making everything so much more difficult. I have empathy that he thinks this is the way to play the system, because I think he's playing himself.
Yeah.
That's, at the end of the day, that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable with my place in that.
Right.
And that has nothing to do with anybody else that doesn't take away my empathy for what it must be like to be a young gay individual in America.
Right.
It's got to be difficult.
Right.
It's got to be hard to come out and deal with that criticism.
Right.
And especially for him doing it at such a young age on such a big platform, that had to be brutal.
Yeah.
But I also thought he maybe didn't feel like it was received well from my perspective. And I get it as like a white heterosexual male's perspective. I get it that my perspective doesn't matter in this. But in my perspective, it seemed like he was received really well. I thought like majority of people went, dude.
Majority of people were like, yeah, cool, man.
We're messing with you, man. Like,
awesome, yeah.
In a weird way, I actually thought the fact that when he came out as gay, it elevated his brand identity.
Yeah, more people actually liked him. Only a few people didn't like it.
That's what's unique about America right now. Yeah. I think that elevates your brand.
Yeah. It's it basically does. And only a few people didn't like it. Most people liked it. Everyone was messing with him, myself included, you know? And like now it's hard to mess with him because like it's hard. It's hard for me from multiple perspectives, but like I can't mess with that level of like I don't know, like laying down, like
because but the problem is it's not like he was like defiant towards Christianity.
Right.
He went Satanistic with it.
Yeah.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
When someone like wants to go, dude, I think that that religion can be very suppressive.
Yeah.
And religion has made me turn away from God. I understand how that is real.
Sure.
That
happens.
Conversation makes total sense.
It totally happens. Yeah. And we should I'm actually kind of curious to talk about that a little bit, because I've seen that in my own family. I've seen that with other people. I've seen how religion does turn away people, and how it tumbles and creates effects in many different areas, such as this video.
Right.
And like and because of the when someone is in like deep Christian communities, deep Christian households, if you want to come out as homosexual or whatever, there is a lot of condemnation. There is a lot of a community reaching out and saying like how bad you are, and that's horrible. Never should happen. There is a lot of like this. I've seen people even take it to extremes where they like send you to camps and classes and churches and all this stuff. And like, if you are that person, that is the quite opposite thing you want to do, and it's gonna actually make you resent God more.
Yes.
Than actually like saying like then flipping and saying like, hey, this is God's love. I actually love you for it. Whatever you do, hey, cool. And matter of fact, we're gonna love on you even more.
Yeah.
But this whole resentment thing that Christian or a lot of religious people do, clearly it doesn't work.
Of course,
clearly,
no.
Like with these people, people grow up and they do whatever the hell they want, and fine, let them do whatever. But my point is like but also like Christians will condemn them, and then they grow up and do whatever they want, and then they condemn them twice as much. Bullshit. Like
right.
No, like
that's why I don't want to like condemn
Yeah.
Lil Nas for hating God right now.
Right.
So like, and I'm only saying hating God because in the sense that it seems like when he's wearing the horns of the devil, he kills the devil, and he becomes the devil at the end of his thing.
Yeah.
And I think that I believe in spiritual warfare. So there's a coercive type of thing where imagery and kind of
Music.
Amplifying this type of thing actually is negative for your soul as a Christian. So I'm like, I have empathy that if the Christian community in the United States was so damning of him to make him feel like the place for him to find love is in the devil,
right?
Dude, that freaking sucks.
Yeah, it's no bueno.
And I hope that he doesn't feel as disconnected as that must feel,
right?
Because unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be more love and empathy over there.
Yeah,
that seems like a lost place,
right?
And not a hopeful place. So I hope he can like find a way to turn around and know where love exists.
Yeah,
and I hope he has more people that are caring for him than it feels like.
Yeah,
because a video like that seems like a huge cry for help.
Yeah, essentially, and they're like cry for help and saying like, I'm in this place and this is what I'm doing now, but like I tried and it didn't work. I tried going that way, but it didn't. You guys cast stones on me. You guys didn't like me. You guys cast me away, and therefore I'm just gonna fine. I'm just gonna become a leader in my community wherever whatever that may lead. So it's like it doesn't work for him. I get it. Like, but at the same time, it's like but also seeing like the hate of Christianity, which I would say I don't even like. I like even less, because it's like the hate of Christianity sometimes can be even worse than like, not worse, but like it's worse. The hate of Christianity sometimes can be worse than the sin that you're condemning.
Yeah.
So that there's that too. But like, so as I'm talking about, I'm thinking about like I can understand, but like at the same time, like it doesn't help him. It doesn't help your brand. It's not gonna help you in the future. But like, I can almost understand how you got there. I can stretch myself to understand how you got there.
I mean, like, and that's the thing. Like, as I cannot support this song.
I can't either. I
can if he ever wants to like turn around and like go a different direction.
Yeah.
I can support his career if he's like, if he is looking for grace.
Right.
But when he's in this moment, it's like, I can pray that his like direction turns around.
Yeah.
But because obviously I don't freaking know the guy, all I can do is like, man, I hope that goes well. But it's not looking great.
Not looking good, buddy. And like, buddy, like I don't like your video either. I really don't, because like, especially like pure like Satanism and twerking on Satan, like that's just I get the Christian horny look. You just like it's gross.
And I feel bad for people. Well, I don't feel bad for people that don't get it. I'd say I understand that people don't get it.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah.
But as a person who is Christian, that stuff is a slippery slope.
Yeah.
And I have been a person who, like, I've never fully turned away from God, but I have felt the pull of the devil before.
Same, yeah.
And it's enticing. It's an exciting thought.
Yeah.
To go negative.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there is space for it seems funny or it seems whatever, but
because it feels good, right?
It just
feels.
It's dicey.
It feels to the physical world. It feels good. So, that's what's really interesting, you know. And that's what it's all about. Like, that's what it's all about in this space. Like, whatever feels good, whatever like sounds good, whatever, you know, whatever drink tastes good. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, come on by. But you're not really. You're basically thinking in the moment. You're not thinking about your future. And you know, and that's like the whole thing. That's the whole thing about like almost like what I've been taught. Like, it's almost like typical. Like, what I'm saying right now is like it's almost like like it's almost like I saw it coming, but not like he explained himself in the video rather than it happening in his real life. If that makes sense.
Well,
like,
it just shows that he must. I mean, maybe people. I don't. Maybe his court is like, dude, this is the most artistic thing ever.
Right.
Way to express yourself,
and
he's expressing himself as being very disconnected and distant from, like, love.
Yeah.
And hopefulness, and or maybe he thinks love and hopefulness is Satan. Who freaking knows?
Drugs, whatever.
That must be how like it works, right?
Yeah,
like you go. He must look at religion as hate and anti and all of this shit that we look at like Satan as,
right? Because
he's like seeing the world from literally
opposite,
the opposite,
and that's where I can kind of somewhere I can see it, because like if you think all Christians are hateful and hateful towards you and it won't come within a football field distance from you, you think they're the haters. If you
100%, you'd be like, oh, that like I've only felt hate from Christianity.
Right. And my side over here feels good because I got the women, I got the drugs, I got whatever I want. Over here, I got the love, I got the money, I got the people respecting me, coming in my place. And like now, like all of a sudden, like he's like, oh, I feel loved over here. This is my love space.
But that's the thing, like know your history.
Yeah.
This fable doesn't work out well.
Never.
I have yet to hear the fable of, man, Satan. I found my love in Satan.
Yeah.
And I found hopefulness.
Yeah.
And I found like my friends. And I don't know,
guys.
Maybe it's out there. I get it. That's probably why there's space for it.
Right.
But dude, it gets dicey.
After that one Madonna video, I don't think she got better. I don't think Kanye West got better. I don't think those rock musicians AC/DC, I don't think they got better after those like crazy like 666 Illuminati videos.
Yeah, I mean your views go up.
Yeah, your views go up for like a little bit, and it sounds like I said, it sounds so typical because isn't that what you've like heard? You almost like you like yeah, like you get your little money, you get your little taste of fame, you get your little women here and there, but at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, these guys don't live. These guys live with these demons, but I mean, my God. So,
or maybe we're idiots at this. Who knows?
Or maybe we're the idiots.
I mean, he's probably up in Hollywood Hills having a lot more fun than us right now.
Chilling. We're on flatland. We're not on the hills.
Those demonic parties must be.
They must be lit, literally. You know, they must be wild. They must be great. You know, drugs galore. You know,
And they probably end with hugs and stuff, but like
no, probably orgies. But you know, it happens. You know, it's crazy stuff happens in those parties. But remember, hey, it feels good, and that's what's good. If it feels good, tastes good, looks good, it must be good, right?
So I mean,
anyway,
that's kind of it with that.
Yeah, no, I'm done.
Like, yo, bro, like,
I'm complete.
Little Nas X, like,
yeah, man, like, hey, man,
I wish you well. I hope it works out.
Wish you the best.
I get it that you're probably like mad or irritated, or maybe you're just having a fun. Maybe it's literally just hysterical to watch Christians freak out. And I get how that's possible.
Hey,
right? Like,
right. But I mean, hey, good luck, bro. Have a good one. You know, like, hey, wish you the best and do your thing, man. I don't really like your music anymore. But hey, you know, good luck for you, bro.
That Old Town Road got different. It's a different road than I thought he was talking about.
Old Town Road, yeah, sure as hell. Yeah, Old Town Road that leads to Earl. So so I mean, hey, man, it be like that sometimes. So
John.
So I'm trying to figure out why And like since the coronavirus, like all these NBA and like NFL, they want to step it up, right? NFL just added another game to their season. Somehow, all the football players that are getting paid millions are like flipping out about this.
Well, I think they're gonna drop a preseason game still, though, right?
Oh, that's fair. Then yeah.
So I think there's more ad dollars in real games,
right?
So somehow they're probably gonna drop a preseason game and
screw the preseason games.
But the game they added for the Vikings is in LA.
Oh, nice.
I'm thrilled. They're playing the Chargers, and that was the game they just added.
Nice. Yeah. I'm down to go to that game.
You're coming.
Yeah. The only people who care about preseason games are like the Detroit Lions or something. Where they're like, yeah, we won a preseason game. This is going to be our year. Or in the Dallas Cowboys. You know who you are.
I think it develops talent. I think preseason games are good.
Yeah.
Maybe 4 aren't necessary. I could see how 3 makes more sense.
Yeah.
But I always thought the reason that we were going to drop a preseason game is because guys were getting injured. Adding a full another
game
professional,
it doesn't
active that seems like guys just can get more injured.
Yeah. That's what's so interesting. They don't play NFL players don't play many games, but like it's so crazy. Like that one game could change their whole essentially life. It's not if the injury's good enough.
Yeah, well, and then what's weird about when you add a game is now everybody will be having the best of statistics.
Yeah.
So like a 2,000-yard running season won't be as exceptional anymore.
No. Good
so
point.
like Tom Brady will throw for more yards than he's ever thrown for in his career.
Right.
So they get a few years of like new records.
Yeah, new records for sure.
And then we have to actively care. But we will.
And we like records. We like new records.
Records feel nice.
We talked about this actually. As Americans, we are competitive as hell. So we like new records.
And we won't say shit. We'll always say, but extra game doesn't matter, best ever.
More entertainment for us. Americans love entertainment. Speaking of what we were talking about earlier, we Americans love entertainment. They eat it up, So another game, another person gets hurt. It happens,
Yeah.
So I love how little people care about people that make money, like rich people and especially football players and basketball players. Like you complain once as a basketball player, like how dare you? You make millions of dollars. You can't say shit. I'm over here in my little apartment and you making millions, but you want to complain about having another game? How dare you?
Well, we did learn something about basketball players today, though. Well, when we were drinking coffee.
Which one?
WNBA.
Oh yeah. So
WNBA. Maya Moore's salary was $45,000.
In 2012, Maya Moore, WNBA player, was $45,000.
I think it's funny to give a little shit with the whole salary with females sometimes.
Yeah.
Not to say that I don't think that females deserve more. They absolutely do.
Dude,
I didn't know it was that bad at the WNBA.
Dude, I didn't go to college at all. My first job in LA was $45,000 a year. Okay, I was damn near just talking to people on the phone. Like that's all I did. And the WNBA player that plays travels, other stuff, $45,000 a year.
That's what people get called. That's if you're at a call center.
That's sanitation worker pay, in Los Angeles. I got a pay bump because I work in a big building, sanitation worker that mops the floor. $45,000. Wow, that's $45,000 in California at least. We're not.
Was in 2012 is what Wikipedia told us. I don't know what she got paid last year.
Yeah. So we looked at the average salary of the WNBA player now, and it was $100,000, up from $79,000 last year. So. It's working that people are saying raise the pay, but by not much.
They do get paid more than male lacrosse players, though.
They do get paid more than male lacrosse players. Male lacrosse players, if you hadn't known, and this is why we talk about viewership, because who watches male lacrosse, right? Male lacrosse players get $10,000, $7,000 to $10,000 a year. A year. You literally have to have another job.
Injustice. There's only one word for that, is injustice.
So should we flip that and be male lacrosse players should get paid more money than WNBA players?
I don't even
take more risk. Lacrosse is a lot of risk and a lot of running and a lot of WNBA players did you see that one call where the three girls? It was the last shot of the college college basketball game at the NCAA tournament, and there was 3 girls that damn near tackled this one chick and touched her, hit her, everything, and the ref didn't call a foul. And then
did they actually rough her up?
No, it was bad. It was a blatant foul, and then they didn't call it.
Okay.
And the girl, if she had made the shot, then she would have won the game. Like for the team. But I mean, on top of that,
the ref just wasn't watching.
Just wasn't watching. But like,
well, they don't have money for that though.
Right.
Like for a third ref or something like that.
They don't have money in the. And this is women's college basketball. So it's like they barely even gave the college basketball. They didn't even give college basketball, women's college basketball, a workout room. They gave her the little.
Well, if they like lose air in the ball during the game, they actually just like they start the game later. Really? This like if the ball gets deflated in women's basketball game, they don't pump it up. They just end the game.
They just move on. Dude, if the lights accidentally get shut off in the stadium, they just leave it off. They're like, I guess the game's over now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Please, everybody leave.
It's too much money to start the power over again. Because it's like
exit to the left.
It's like $5,000. It's like half of your salary. We can't do it. So my point is, I feel horrible about WNBA players and their salary because they're getting paid more or less the amount of money than like a 23-year-old software engineer makes.
But the only way to turn it around is to actually stop whining and go support the game.
Go to the game, bro. Like I've been to more in WNBA games than most people, and I've been to one. Then like I've been to 99% of the population. One, and I did get in for free. Don't get me wrong, but the point is, I did go and I watched it. The LA Sparks. That's when Lisa Leslie was playing, and they lost. But the point is, I went to at least one, and the people. There's more people that complain about women's WNBA salaries than people that actually go to the games, bro.
You're right. Like they should go support.
Go support. Buy their jersey. When's the last time you seen a WNBA jersey wear it on somebody?
I mean, I honestly haven't seen them on ESPN for a while, so I haven't even seen it on TV.
When's the last time you heard someone be like, "Yo, like I just went to this WNBA game, like it was lit, like came back from it, like wow, like more people should go."
Yeah, I'd be willing.
Do you even know people who sponsor anybody's WNBA team other than some? I remember seeing like some TD Ameritrade Bank somewhere.
Well, I know the Mayo Clinic sponsors the Lynx.
The Mayo Clinic, okay.
But I'm from Rochester, Minnesota.
Right.
Mayo Clinic's our hometown hero. And they sponsor the Minnesota Lynx.
I literally don't even know who sponsors the LA Sparks.
Well, you're not a super fan like me.
Yeah.
See, like Simone Augustus, Maya Moore, they were OGs back in the day.
OG shit, yeah.
So I was a fan of the Lynx.
Okay.
We did like a 3-peat, so.
Yeah, the Lynx. Yeah, I mean, hey, man, like. So I think the point is, WNBA season is closing in. The NBA season is closing in too. We're at the last month. I know, right? We're at the last full month of NBA season.
I have not watched one game yet.
Yeah. This is when people actually start watching towards the end. And, the Lakers are falling, unfortunately, here in Los Angeles. We lost LeBron and AD right now because they're hurt. But we pray to God that he comes back. And we want the Lakers to come back and face the Clippers in the number 1 seed and kick the Clippers out on the first round again. Please.
Who do the Clippers have? They have Kawhi.
Yeah, they have Kawhi.
And they have who's like their big three.
Okay, Kawhi, Paul George, and then there's somebody else. Hold on.
Well, so they have like some awesome players.
No, they have good players.
Okay,
they have a legitimately good team.
And LeBron still got it.
Yeah, he still got it. Clippers.
I need to become a sports fan again. I've been struggling through Corona, not being a great sports fan at all.
Yeah. Clippers roster right now is do they have Serge Ibaka right now? So we got Patrick Beverly. I think he's hurt right now. We got Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverly. They got Terrence Mann. Marcus Morris Sr. They got good guys. They got Patrick Beverly. Ibaka Zubac. Rajon. Oh, they got Rajon Rondo now. So that's gonna be.
They got a real team.
Yeah, they have a real team. They have a solid team, but they're still gonna get kicked out in the first round. That's what we're hoping. That's what we're wishing for. Shout out Lakers. Okay. So if anybody's here watching on YouTube, Spotify, anyone, what is your favorite Lakers team and how far are they going to go this year? That's what I'm actually very curious about.
They got to win it.
You're a T-Wolves fan, right?
T-Wolves fan, yeah.
Yeah, how far are they going to go this year?
Nowhere.
Yeah, no.
I mean that franchise is done.
Who do you guys have right now?
For what? Like anything? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, also like Karl Anthony Towns is our big like money hitter.
Yeah.
And then Castle is our new first round pick.
Okay.
They're legit. But we're always stuck with that new young combo.
Right. You guys are always trading people. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys are losing to the Knicks right now, 92-94.
There you go.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Like I want the Lakers to win all the championships, and no one else. You know, I just wish LeBron and AD come back and dominate, and we can sing like I Love LA again in downtown LA and give everybody coronavirus so the cops can come in, start shooting people with rubber bullets, and we can all disperse like LA should. So, that's how we do it over here.
This is a classic LA story.
Classic LA story. This is exactly what happened last year. It's so funny because COVID just has happened. Everyone, the cops, everyone's celebrating the Lakers win. Cops come in around 12, start dispersing people. Everyone leaves, and then obviously all these people start I literally see someone give someone money to spray paint walls in downtown LA.
No.
Yeah. So and we're me and the group of people we're watching this MFer take this car is driving around. The guy goes, yeah man, no. Good. Take his bag out. Go. In my city, bro.
White guy.
And yeah, as fuck. Wearing all black. Wearing all black. Yeah.
Oofda.
And guess yeah. And then why are the black people tearing up our city? Why are the Mexicans tearing up our city? Anyway, so and Fauci, right? So
yes, coronavirus. We are in orange now. So there was purple.
We're in California. We're in orange tier. So so tell us about what these tiers that we're talking about.
Well, so purple was the worst tier.
Yeah.
Most dangerous, most deadly.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like that was it's devastating to think that purple is a negative thing. Purple is my favorite color.
Yeah, it sounds like a great thing.
Yeah, so I felt that was kind of like a knock on the Vikings a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, purple is most negative. We are now orange.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 33% capacity, I think, with stadiums.
Yeah.
50% indoor dining. 100% outdoor dining now.
Mm-hmm.
Theme parks are at 25%.
25% amusement parks, 33% capacity for outdoor sports and concerts, 50% capacity for indoor dining, and 100% capacity with retail for mass. Outdoor, open. Bars, whatever, food, open.
Yeah. And I dined inside last night.
Nice.
It was great. Went to Craig's LA.
Nice.
Little bougie spot
on
Melrose. And
that's where all the TikTokers go.
It's a TikTok spot, little TikTok joint.
Yeah.
And best steak maybe I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm curious. So first of all, how'd you order it? Well, medium well?
I go medium well.
Interesting.
And everyone kind of looked at me like, eh. And then they always give it to me basically medium.
I'm actually very curious about that because I just recently got no. I want to finish you finish about your steak story. I'll tell you about mine.
Well, my story was really about at the end of the day. They give us our little requirements at the table, which we didn't realize what it was all about until halfway through our meal.
Yeah,
where you're supposed to wear a mask, basically in between bites,
yeah,
or at least until food and drink service starts. Mask has to stay on until food and drink starts, and then every time that your waiter comes up, you're supposed to put your mask back on.
Right. And I get that. When the waiter comes back, I get it. Other than that, I don't. But whatever.
I mean, I'm done saying I get it.
Yeah,
I don't.
You're past I get it. You're like,
I don't get it. This is fucking crazy.
This is stupid.
This is stupid.
Yeah.
However, dude, Craig's LA's awesome restaurant. Craig was there.
Okay.
And but they didn't say boo about it. I didn't realize that was what we were supposed to do until halfway through the meal.
Okay.
They never said, "Hey, check out what you're supposed to be doing."
Okay.
So we were masked off because we were inside eating in a voluntary thing.
Right.
They didn't care.
But you enjoyed the steak. It was still good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I am curious about. There's always this talk about steaks, right? How you're supposed to have it medium. First of all, why? They said you want the blood a little bit, but dude, I also really want it cooked. I like my shit well done. And I get shit for it. How dare you?
I like a well seasoned steak.
Me too. Everyone likes
well
seasoned.
The flavor is whatever. I like a well done. I honestly say medium well.
Yeah.
Because I get cross eyes when I say well done.
Isn't that weird?
They look at me like, dude, get out of here.
Yeah.
Even though that's probably how I would prefer it.
It's okay. When I was young, my mom always said if I want a steak, you get well done, right? So I just continued saying well done, until I started getting shit for it, and they're like, how dare you get well done? And I'm like, dude, I thought that was the whole point of all meat. How do you not get it well done?
Yeah, but then you get your friends start getting bougie, and immediately when they basically want raw.
Yeah,
they're always I need raw. That makes me it's what? You're a part of this new upper class.
I'm trying to like, does it taste better? Like I don't.
They want to taste the blood.
Yeah, like I don't see the taste being better. Yeah, a little bit of the blood, but like it doesn't.
And it's not a tasting for. It's really, it comes down to texture.
Yeah,
I just like the texture.
Use a little more chewy.
I don't know. I'm just like even a fucking crispy steak.
Yeah. Why? We had a comment from Nerd Rocket. Why? Why?
You know why?
Why? I don't know why. We need to figure that out. Why our steaks need to be like that. So, I mean, for the most part, I'm still getting well done. I actually had beef for the first time in like a few weeks. By the way, I want to tell you this actually.
Like a Twitter or TikTok beef?
No, a burger, like a beef burger.
Oh, I thought you were talking about like a wrap beef.
No, I don't have beef because I'm too chill.
And I was just thinking that because I was just watching like the Tupac Biggie thing, so I was like, "Oh, beef, all right."
Oh yeah. No, if someone starts beef with me, like I'm like, I'll just be like, "Yo, okay, yeah, dude." Like that's my beef. Like when, because someone's gonna start some shit with me in the future, and I'm just gonna be like, okay, sure, like. As long as you didn't like fuck my girlfriend or something, then like I'm not gonna whatever, man. It is.
We'll address it live.
Yeah, we'll address it live. But like you know, oh, so I had a burger for the first time recently. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like I kind of don't really miss it that much. Like I thought I missed beef for a minute because I haven't had beef since like it's been months since I had beef.
Why did you stop red meat?
So okay, so a couple things.
Because you live in LA, obviously. That's like the number one reason.
That's exactly why. No, in all reality, it has something to do with more like bloodline, family, like a little bit about that. So it's like it basically said like in my
I mean you cook your meat because you pull it.
Yeah, that's why he pulled well done.
Well, that's why like a steak, because it's like a clean cut, you can have it raw. Well, you can just like sear it, but like ground beef, you need to actually cook it because it's ground up, so like some of the shit that could have been on the edges actually can be in the meat.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's like that's why you can. I mean,
ground beef is all mixed.
Yeah.
Okay, good point. Ground beef. So I was thinking about that. Okay, so it had to do with like health in my family and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get too into that, but basically like people in my family don't really eat beef, and they told me why, because it's like it had something to do with like, you know, health. And then basically on top of that, when they said like ground beef is made, I realized it didn't dawn upon me until like recently. I was like, you know, when you eat a burger, you're not eating like, it's not like, well, I guess we have this idea where it's like, okay, like you take a piece of beef and then you mash it into a burger, you make little patties, then cook it, and then here. Like beyond before the meat even gets to the cutting board, like what they're fed and how they're treated and all that stuff like that. Let's even forget that for a second. Like it's not that. Like it's multiple cows shredded, and then they go like, and then
it's probably like the steak that I ate at Craig's. That company made a bunch of those steaks.
Yeah.
And then sold a bunch of the bullshit over to some other group who's buying all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And then making a burger.
Yeah. So that's why the burgers get cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Like if you fucking go out and get like $1 burger because someone's having a sale, like like it's like you're like the fourth person down getting the mix of beef, by the way. Like it meshed together in like
that burger was already probably eaten by somebody.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's probably shot out and then put back on the plate.
But they're like, it started as a burger.
It's a burger.
Started as a cow.
It's beef. That's what they say. It's beef, bro. It's beef. And just mashed up, and then they just like fucking put pickles and lettuce on it, and then and then I'm like, eat it, and I'm like, no, like, no, I don't want this nasty shit. Like, don't give me some real like. I don't care if I'm bougie. I don't care if I'm black and bougie. I will be black and bougie. Give me the grass fed. Give me the nicely patted cow. Like you became friends with this cow almost.
Yeah.
Like, you were like you gave them water. Fucking like the and it better have the best sun. Like I don't want my shit in random places. I want the best burger ever, and I want that specific piece ground up, and then I mash it with my own hands, and then I put it in because I don't trust you motherfuckers, and then I'll make my own burger. That's what I want. I don't want anything else.
You don't hear of single source burgers.
No.
Like you'll hear single source coffee, like you know that like, okay, this came from one farm in Guatemala.
Right.
You rarely hear about. I actually have never heard of. Hey, this burger was all from the same cow.
The same cow. Like no. Like I never even heard that once. They like grass fed beef.
You've come up with a phenomenal business venture. Single source burger.
And I'm gonna make it expensive as fuck. And I'm gonna put it right here in Venice. I'm like, yo, like a $40 for a burger minimum. Okay, minimum rate. So, because I'm like, dude, like, how could like, yeah, I want like I like the taste of the burger and I like its beef and stuff, but like, I don't like the fact that there's like multiple cows in my food with fucking lettuce, tomato, and bread on it. And then on top of this, like the shit parts of the cow. Like, it's not even the good. It's not like the Kobe beef. It's not like the good parts. It's like the fucking leg in the mouth and the fucking ass, and then another cow's ass, and then together, and then here's your burger. Here, put some fries on the side.
Yeah, it sounds disgusting. I mean, I might have In-N-Out tonight still. But I don't know. That's just me.
No, so I'm like, okay, like I only want like the best beef, right? Like I want like fucking like grass-fed beef, but like at the same time, it's still like kind of bullshit. So like, okay, so I started moving on from like to chicken and turkey and just stopped doing beef altogether because I was like, okay, this is getting kind of.
That's right. Because my question was, why don't you like red meat?
Yeah,
and then it all came down to the burger industry.
Yeah, it's mostly because that's all I ate was burgers. It's not like I'm like, oh yeah, let me get like steaks and shit. Like all I ate was burgers.
So you're really anti-burger more than red meat.
Okay, yeah, well, a little bit. So like, if I get a proper steak, like let me know where that cow came from, homie. Like, make sure.
Got it. So you're bad and bougie.
Yeah, I am bad and bougie.
Speaking of bad and bougie.
Yeah. Sweet.
Migos, bro.
Is it salty, sweetie, swatty?
I think it's shoddy.
Shoddy. Is it
shoddy?
Shoddy almost got her ass beat.
Is it sweetie?
Is it sweetie, swatty?
I don't think the Reddit world's really gonna help us break this down.
No.
But
I'm from LA, so I call her Sawtell. You know what I mean? No, it's stupid. So
who knows? But this sweet young lady
is an elevator video.
Swinging fist.
It looked a little like the Solange in Jay-Z video, a little bit. The hotel women beating. It happens. You know, but it looked like they got into a little bit of a tussle over this bag.
Apartment that she was renting in North Hollywood.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, over this like bag, I guess that she had, and he was like, "Bitch, you ain't living with this bag."
Well, did you see it was a Call of Duty bag?
The Call of Duty bag.
I think it's like a Call of Duty box or something like that.
It had nothing to do with the box. Whatever was inside the box. I'm actually more curious. What was inside the box?
I don't know, but for some reason I think I read on TMZ it was Call of Duty.
Damn, like maybe Quavo has like that was his PS5
maybe duty free box. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, like maybe that was something of value of some kind.
But he didn't get very physical.
No, he just kind of like tussled her a little bit. Like he's like, no, like you go to the back of the elevator, like, huh? Like.
But he did kind of look back at the camera, like, oh shit.
Yeah. So after he like tussled her inside back into the elevator, and she like fell down, like she got smacked into the like with a brick or something, and then. He looked back in the elevator, like, or the camera, like, oh, like, I'm screwed. Like, this.
Do you think he looked back like I'm screwed, or, oh, if you weren't here, she's gonna get it?
A little bit of both.
That's the Twitterverse,
right?
Is talking about like, oh, she.
If I didn't see this camera, I was getting ready to beat her ass. Like, is that what happened?
Well, I don't know. I'm asking. Like,
that's what Twitter's saying.
I think he was looking back as I'm already screwed.
Yeah.
I think he was looking at the camera like.
Because after he looked back, he didn't move. Like, he like, okay. Like,
he just like looked at the front door. He's like, oh.
Yeah. He looked at it like, yeah.
And then the door opens and he was like kind of looking after her. He's like, I don't know what to do here.
Yeah. So it's like, I wish him well. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. But I mean, he didn't like hit her or anything. Like, I can still listen to Quavo's music, you know? Like, if he started beating her, like, I'm like, I can't listen to Quavo anymore. But like, he was just kind of like tussling a little bit. Like, people tussle.
Is he getting heat?
A little bit, but not really. Not a little bit. Because he didn't like. Because remember, it wasn't like a fight. It wasn't like people like beating each other. It was like It wasn't. It's not that bad, basically.
Kind of irrelevant.
Yeah, kind of irrelevant.
She takes a swing. He dodges it well.
Yeah.
I don't think he's getting ready for like a YouTube fight.
Quavo's music will still be played on the radio. You know, and bad and bougie. You know, bitch. Like he's gonna get another
swing though. That's the whole thing. Like everybody was like looking. I mean, it sounds like he cheated on her or whatever.
Yeah.
But can rappers actually cheat? I feel like it's part of their lifestyle.
Dude, I feel like all people. I like how there's like whole hashtag is like black men don't cheat, but like all these people are cheating.
This is like a new hashtag.
Yeah. This has been a hashtag like black men don't cheat, and it's such bullshit. Like it makes me laugh every time I hear it because we all know it's full of shit. It's like saying like women are always right. Like no, y'all just be saying that shit.
That will be our hashtag on this episode, though. Because women are always right.
Women are always right. Okay, like
yeah, we got Cam wearing a Britney Spears.
Yeah, dude.
Today.
So if you didn't know, if you new to the podcast, LJ has been out with COVID for the past 2 weeks.
Yes.
And 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I bought this shirt because when Britney Spears was relevant,
Friend of the program.
Yeah, and I was like, oh hell yeah, like I want to rep my girl Britney Spears and like free Britney Spears. And let me show y'all. What's up?
Yeah, Britney Spears is a friend of the program.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
That
I support.
Shirt does not look like she's 18 in it.
No.
That's kind of weird.
No. But I mean,
that feels wrong.
Hit me, baby, one more time. But I wanted to rock it because I was like, yeah, like I support my girl Britney, like free my girl home girl Britney, like let her out of conservatorship. Like who knows what she's gonna turn into after that, but just let her out, let her free.
How do you like the idea that on her Twitter or whatever, she tweeted?
Yeah, she tweeted.
She tweeted.
Yeah.
I don't like the documentary.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Britney doesn't like it, so we back off."
Back off. I guess it's not true then because Britney doesn't like the documentary.
I would love to bet a hard $5,
1,000
on the fact that those were not her thumbs.
Dude, literally anyone can tweet from someone's account and be like, don't like it, and because that redirects the attention of that documentary away from it. Because if the person so-called doesn't think it's right or real, then your fans that love you,
I mean, I get it. We should back off Britney. That's the whole point of the doc. But at the same time, another point of the documentary was Britney doesn't have control over Twitter.
Right. If she doesn't have conservative control, someone has control of everything that she has.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't even have control of her own key of her house.
Yes, her whole residence or everything. So, free Britney. But also, I can't help but think, right? I love Britney Spears. I want to run preferences, and I really wish her well. But is it gonna be like one of those things where like Britney Spears might have been put in conservatorship for a reason, and if you let her out, it's kind of like letting a hamster out of the cage. We're just like, you're free, but like what the fuck do I do now? Like you're free in this open world, but you're just like, oh, I haven't seen the open world yet.
Like I have a hard time believing that it's all her. That why she's so crazy.
Yeah, no, totally.
Because I think she's in like a medically induced walking, talking coma.
Yeah, like almost like Joe Biden.
A little Biden.
You know what I mean?
She's kind of going through Biden.
Britney Spears is like young Biden.
Because the reason Britney Spears was so appealing,
right,
is she was like this very assertive, well-spoken young girl,
right,
that like had direction and had like work ethic,
yeah,
and like she had
talent.
She was just dialed in. She is the exact opposite of why she was so appealing.
Right.
So I have a hard time believing that like it's all just her mental downfall.
Right.
It feels medically induced.
Right, because you gotta take into account like she was very young when this happened. Like she had many, if you have multiple people coming in your life, your family that is not treating you right, you have boyfriends coming in and out of your life, like all this stuff happening when you're very young, growing up, like you can't grow up being okay and normal. Like it's very hard to do that. Like
right, And I think we have a complete breakdown maybe on episode 8 or 9. Where we go deep with the Britney Spears conflict.
Yeah.
And we're big Britney people. That's why you're wearing this shirt. She's a supporter of the program. We love her.
I will never forget, I got my first boner for Britney Spears, so I will always make sure she is taken care of. You know what I mean? Because
she was probably 16 when you had that.
It was that red suit, bro. But I was
that's wrong.
But I was like 5. I was like 5. So therefore,
she's older than you.
Yeah, she's way older than me. So therefore, I can have a 5-year-old boner when she's whatever, 19 or whatever the hell. It's legal back then. So yeah.
How old is Britney?
That's a good question. How old is Britney Spears? Let's see. How old is Britney Spears? Britney Spears is 39 years old. Okay, and I gotta Google this
so we're safe.
So Google doesn't say.
Both of us can talk about Britney however we want.
Well, let's do the math. How old was she in 2000? So knock off 21 years. She's not 18.
Wait, so how old is she right now? She's 39?
Yeah, 21 years. So she was 18.
Okay.
In 2000. So like she was 18, 19, 20. So like I saw her like 18, 19, 20 in that red suit. She's like, oh baby, baby. Like I was like, whoa, like oh baby, what? Like 6 years old me, like I'm getting ready to go to 2nd grade. Like You said what now? Like, okay. Anyway, but
Okay.
You know, so that's how the society gets hooked on white women, because I mean, you got Britney Spears out there doing her thing. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, did we talk about Fauci, Dr. Fauci and Dr. Collins?
Not to the extent that we need to.
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out, like, they started coming out. Dr. Fauci and Dr. Collins are coming out like, oh, like now all of a sudden post this whole 4-year or 2-year thing about the pandemic and everything. Now they're like, oh, I was silenced. Oh, they shunned me to the side.
Now, Collins did get kind of sent to the side, because if people aren't familiar, she was the female that got put in charge of, I think, our plan.
Yeah,
right?
plan, yeah.
Her and Fauci were really side by side.
Corona plan. Yeah.
In developing the Corona plan. Yeah. She was the lady who was up there when then Trump finally pushed her to the side.
Yeah.
And said we're all supposed to, like, basically
bleach ourselves. Yeah.
I do still think that was heavily taken out of context.
Yeah.
But because he was talking about, like, what was happening on surfaces.
Yeah.
And then they learned about, like, UV light and how that, like, can kill stuff, which we already knew about.
He's like put the UV light in the body and just shock the body, just zap it.
He got a little dicey, but so she was the lady who was sitting to the side while he was talking about that, being like,
yeah,
hands in the face.
Right. It is a little funny when, like, it does sound like a not even a 4th grade, like a 2nd grader explanation of, like, yeah, like, I get what you're saying, doctor. What you're saying is I should take the UV light and put it inside of me, because it works. Like, if it works on surfaces, it has to work inside of my body.
Spitballing.
Yeah, and I just zap it and it's gone. Right. 2nd grade logic, that makes perfect sense.
I like it how, like, different our presidency is now, where Trump would just be spitballing shit out there. He'd be like, you know what? You thought about this for the hey head of whatever. You thought about this, spitballing,
right?
And, like, everyone's rolling their eyes.
Right.
He goes on 45-minute monologues.
Yeah.
Now our president's, like, giving up in the middle of sentences.
Yeah.
He's like,
it's pretty brutal.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
He's like, my dog Major, bite the thing, and then
they're gonna put that presidential dog
down. I mean, bite another motherfucker again.
Oh my god.
Dog, that dog will bite one Republican once. Dead, homie. Dead dog.
Yeah, they're putting that dog down.
I feel bad. You know, like, because dogs actually, they get a sense. You know, dogs are real smart, right? Especially, I think that was a German Shepherd. I think.
Yeah.
And, like, dogs, they're really they know who's, like, good and who's bad.
I kind of get how they're like mini little angels on earth.
Yeah.
I'm not a big dog person. I don't think you should have them sleep inside. But
really, oh, okay, all right. I feel like that's some. All people in LA will shun you from that. They're
I know.
Like, how dare you?
No, I just not that you shouldn't let them sleep inside. I just don't really get it.
No, I totally get it.
It's weird, and I get it if you have a little dog.
Yeah.
Like little wiener dogs are cool. Like I get that.
Yeah, Shih Tzu.
But, like, when you have, like, a golden retriever or, like, a German Shepherd, like a German Shepherd is a dog, but it's not a family member. That thing is a protector.
Yeah, protector.
It should be sleeping outside.
No. They love you. But yeah, like what do you say?
Dogs can definitely sense your energy.
map. Yeah, the dog sense your energy. So that's what I'm trying to say.
That.
So dog sense your energy, and then so if he bites a motherfucker, like, he's probably thinking like, ugh, like, I don't like this guy. And major, like, those dogs are meant to protect. So it's like, ugh. But technically, he did bite a member of the security service team. So, like, they probably, those guys all have horrible energy. That's what they have that job, and they're probably doing a good job at their job. But if those people aren't, like, you're not gonna go to their house and find, like, fucking plants and shit. Like, you're not gonna go to their house and, like, find like Bibles. Like, you're like, I don't know what the fuck those guys are on. So those. I
mean, yeah, he's a blood sniffing dog. He's like, this is a bad guy.
Yeah, and that's
bite the bad guy.
Yeah, and those what do you call social? I keep calling social security guys.
Secret Service.
The guys, they probably, like I said, they probably aren't the best people in the world. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, on a personal level. So, like, yeah, they probably sniff your energy and be like, ugh, I yank. So, I mean, I wish them all the best. Oh, so my point is,
man's best friend.
So so I think we said, like, Britney Spears is holding on, and you know, we wish her the best. And,
no, we were talking about Fauci.
Oh yeah, we went on to, like, multiple
Dr. Collins.
Yeah, Dr. Collins. We moved on from her.
So
it's okay.
Now they like to sit back and say they were muzzled.
They were muzzled, silenced.
Keep on referencing dogs.
All this stuff, yeah.
I can't give them that much of a pass.
No, I think they're bullshit because, like, dude, like, we live in this world of like all this connectivity, and you could literally, like, Dr. Fauci at one point could be like, "Yo, like, I'm starting Instagram Live. Fuck these motherfuckers," and like, this is what's really going down. And look at these people, like, but like somehow, like, they were scared. And I just found out today that Dr. Fauci couldn't get fired. I guess.
No, so President Trump didn't have the capacity or authority to fire Fauci.
Right.
That's why Fauci was like, he actually did have the ability to let it rip.
Let it rip and do whatever the fuck he wants.
And he did.
And he did.
Most of the time that he was in with Trump, he disagreed with Trump, like, most of the time.
Mm.
Right? Like, he was always, like, Trump was pissed at him, like, half the presidency.
He'd be like, this motherfucker is crazy. And then, like, you just, like, say his point. But it's just tough to see now. Like, he's like, oh, like, how dare they silence me and all this stuff. Like come on, like, bullshit. Like, chill out. Like, you had open mic for a year and some change.
Yeah, and you had the media on your side.
Yeah,
if you said that, like, Trump was muzzling you during that, you couldn't have been more celebrated.
Yeah,
I get that you're going to get fired.
They 100% would have been on
but
your
you
side.
also could have sold a book for, like, probably $8 million the next day.
Yeah, but yes, those people would have been on the edge all the time. Yeah, it's probably, you know.
No, I get that it was probably miserable to fucking work for Trump.
No. I think they're talking about the dog thing still. I think the dog.
Oh.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah. No. So yeah, they're back to your point. Miserable for working for Trump, but yeah, but like
But you have to do your job though.
Regardless.
Like, we should be bothered. I am not going to put Trump in such an authority figure that, like, that doesn't make you do your job. Like, do your job. If you thought he was doing something wrong, be vocal about it.
Yeah.
And the media totally had your back.
And it's way beyond Trump. It's about the American people with thousands of people's lives at risk and families at risk. Like, it's way beyond the muzzling of a press conference.
Yeah. And, like, it's so easy to say that now.
It's so easy to say that in retrospect.
And it was
you can
easy
always
to say
that
then too.
Yeah,
everyone hated Trump.
Right.
So, like, how can you say, like, oh, well, I wasn't able to speak my mind? That's like, dude, you totally had the ability.
It's probably easier to say it back then when he was, like, right there, because then you could have had, like, the backing, and, like, people would have asked Trump questions like, why are you silencing Dr. Fauci and Dr. Collins?
Right. And then sometimes these people like to be like, but I was taking it upon myself to stay there and, like, continue to lie to the American people, but at least my presence was protecting the American people.
Yeah, stop. Full stop. Because, like, again, like we say, like, Dr. Fauci couldn't get fired by Trump.
Unbelievable.
So
but thanks, Fauci. I'm a Fauci fan.
No,
sure.
Me too.
Whatever.
We appreciate.
But I also think that we give him too much. Like, we have to take in other voices.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be, like, the ultimate end-all be-all of everything we're supposed to do with COVID.
Right.
Because he's not talking about eating apples and working out.
You know,
at the end of the day, that's eating an apple and running every day is probably going to protect you more than the vaccine. Like, sorry.
I mean, the vaccine doesn't protect others. It protects you from not dying, essentially.
Right. Now they're trying to flip that a little bit. Everyone's trying to make it feel like they're trying to say that if I get the vaccine, now I'm protecting others. Right. When 6 months ago, that had nothing to do with it, right? It only affects the way that the virus deals with your body. You can still transmit it.
Right. And I just think it's weird, man. Like, I just think it's strange because it's always like this, like, I got the vaccine to protect other people. I wear a mask to protect other people. Like, yeah, okay, sure, whatever. You're protecting yourself, and I get it. But at the same time, like, not everyone's scared like you. Not everyone is, like, in that boat. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a weird. Coronavirus is always strange to talk about because we can talk about 1,000 things and we almost never come to a conclusion. It's very strange.
So but, like, trying to socially force everybody to get the vaccine is so manipulative.
Yeah.
And for people to think that they're, like, on a higher ground by getting the vaccine than others, like, dude, stop it.
Dude, you should see the ads now. Like, they're playing in between. Like remember, my dad always watches the news, so, like, I see it in the morning when I'm, like, passing by him, and, like, the ads in the, like, the middle of the morning are just like don't get a vaccine or you're gonna kill your grandma. Like, and it's right before the vaccine, it was the mask. Wear a mask, or you're gonna kill your mom. Like, it's like fear mongering commercials, like, full blown. Like, and it's like they're real, like, explicit. Like, get a vaccine or you're gonna kill somebody. Like, not exactly that, but like they're real, like, hard on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, like, okay, like that, and that's what starts this fear mongering about the American people and all these people, how everyone's scared now. you know, running around like, I can't believe you didn't wear a mask. I can't believe you didn't get your vaccine. But like, everyone.
It's so funny. So I'm like 20 days outside of having the virus.
Yeah, because you had corona.
Yeah, I had it, and now I get what it probably felt like to be Magic Johnson in the 90s with AIDS.
Oh yeah.
Like, even totally outside of symptoms, don't have the virus in my system anymore. People still kind of look at you like, you got HIV.
Yeah, don't touch me because you're gonna. Yeah.
So I it'll be interesting to see how this plays out in 10 years. Again, I've said that probably 1,000 times before.
It's probably
of how we look back on it.
Yeah, and you know it's and we're probably
maybe we're wrong. We might be the people that are
so
absolutely look like freaking idiots.
Idiots, yeah, and like because if it's like 10 times worse, then we will look like full blown idiots.
Yeah.
If it's better, like if it gets
like
better,
our conversation alone right here will like cancel our kids.
Yeah,
They'll
totally.
Be like, dude,
like your dad said, yeah, totally. No, but if it gets better, which I'm hopeful it will, because that's what everyone wants. I think that like we're gonna look at the people who shunned everyone about this like fools, like everyone like cast everyone aside because of like the fear mongering of corona. Like we're gonna look at y'all like look at the energy y'all put out for nothing.
I just think it's given a lot of people leverage who never liked hanging out with people, who never wanted to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Like this ability to say you're doing something wrong.
Yeah,
I got you.
Yeah, and the ability to say that because
and you should and individuals that probably didn't even want to go outside, probably didn't even want to be a part of community as a greater whole.
Right.
Now have leverage in telling other people who do. I find love and peace in community.
Right.
It kind of gives them leverage over me to say you're doing something wrong.
Right.
By desiring being in spaces with others.
You know,
and then they try to say, but I'm sacrificing too. It's like, dude, but you don't go out anyway.
Yeah, you're not sacrificing shit. You're just
doing what you've been doing.
You're just being your sad self, dude. Go be your sad self away from me, please. You know?
And if you live that life, my life actually not interrupting yours.
No.
You've been chilling inside alone anyway.
No.
Big deal.
Yeah. I know people like that. It's like you've been living this life for so long. Why are you now all of a sudden condemning people that are just living theirs?
Yeah.
So,
it's interesting.
Yeah, it is very interesting. So it's
like we're idiots and we obviously are wrong.
Hey, we could 100% be wrong. We can
most likely.
Yeah, you know.
But
are we though? I mean, hey, maybe. I hope I'm right. Like, I hope I'm the idiot that ends up being right. Like, I hope they play this video back and I'm just like yelling and screaming and fucking and I'm actually they're like, wow, like that idiot was fucking right this whole time. I hope they do it, but I mean, hey, so I mean, yeah. So Biden, so Biden's press conference, I hope,
Biden's first press conference is. I
find that funny.
Would love to know, is this rare that the first press conference would be this late?
This late, and I will give Trump this credit. Like by now, I'm pretty sure he's had his State of the Union address by now. Like he had conferences on conferences by now.
I mean, other than Trump's last month and a half, he did hide.
Yeah,
he was Mar-a-Lago chilling.
Yeah,
but other than that, he was as out there as I've ever seen a president.
Yeah.
Just continually in the press.
Yeah.
Every single day. He was out there so much that people were saying it was inappropriate that he was the speaking figure.
Right.
Remember, they were like, Trump, you should let Fauci talk.
Right.
You're talking too much.
Totally.
He was like too transparent.
Yeah.
Where they're like, you're making our country dumber by going on your 45-minute monologue every night and us knowing every move you're making.
Right.
We have no idea what Biden's thinking. I think it's not that big of a deal that like we're obviously getting governed by a committee and not a person anymore.
Yeah.
But Biden's not in play right now.
No, he's just like he is the talking head. I mean, don't get me wrong, the president has always been the figure talking head, but like it's definitely in play now for sure because we see it like live. We're like, yeah, this isn't him. The questions that he's being asked are essentially softball questions, and there's barely any follow up to if he bullshits.
Well, he had like so during his first press conference, he had 29 pre-built questions or like verified or clear
questions. Yeah.
that is bizarre. That like you need to have like cleared questions.
Yeah.
Like what are you talking about?
Yeah, because essentially he has to prepare his answers. That's why.
That's what's crazy.
Yeah, because
I like it when our media puts the president on kind of like Trump was on trial every day.
Yeah, he was on trial. Yeah, for sure.
And so I don't think that was actually that negative of a relationship between the press and the president. It was like, Trump, you're on trial every day. Like, burn him.
Yeah.
And Trump sometimes did horrible in that, and sometimes it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But at least the press was relentless.
Yeah.
That relentlessness is nice. Right now, they don't give a shit anymore.
No. And it's always like the Biden administration. It was always, before it was like this Trump. Now it's like, and then you say, yeah, but you say that too, but like now it's like always the Biden administration, because it's just the people.
Yeah.
So that's what the words you're getting from, and the clear questions and all the answers. And I get it. And like I feel like there's a certain level of like this is where I always feel like there's like ownership, and there's more than we see, you know what I mean? Because I feel like there's like a certain level of like, we don't want the public to freak out. We don't want the American people to freak out that we have like an incomparable president. Like, so like we need everyone to stay calm.
Well, that's kind of like what Fauci said when it comes to how many people need to get a vaccine.
Yeah.
He initially was saying like 40% of the population. Yeah. Now he's saying 90. Yeah. And he was like, well, I didn't want to tell you all because I didn't want you to freak out.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine? That'd be crazy if Trump said some shit like that.
Yeah. Because they'd
be screaming death to you.
Yeah. And if you notice, there's always the wow. Have you noticed that's always the thing? You need everybody to stay calm. Who's spam risk calling me at this time? Should I answer it? I'm getting a spam risk call right now.
Yeah, see what they're up to.
I want to know what the fuck.
741.
Who this?
This is a message for Cameron Steady. If you are not Cameron Steady, please hang up or disconnect.
That is me. I'm just gonna hang up there. That's weird.
I'm gonna start saying your name like that.
Cameron Steady.
Cameron.
I just hung up. I don't know who the fuck that was. I am not answering that phone.
Just looking for you.
Yeah, they're just looking for my ass. I hopefully no one just showed up to this.
Shout out Fauci though.
Shout out Fauci. Like I do give him credit, from what he's done and all that good stuff. And I hope everyone gets vaccinated. Good. There's all these different like vaccines now. Like obviously the Pfizer, the Moderna.
Yeah.
The AstraZeneca is one having a bunch of problems.
But that didn't get cleared in the U.S., did it?
No, it got cleared in poor countries because no one that's anyway. AstraZeneca is gonna be basically the poor man's vaccine, essentially the poor country's vaccine.
I think it's funny that we're willing to let something go in our body that we don't have a nutritional label on.
No, dude. And I'm telling you, like, and I keep saying it over and over again, like, I don't know, like, I just can't. It hurts me. It pains me to see people just like hears that something works from the FDA and be like, yeah, okay, like emergency rush trials, first vaccine for like a new virus, and then it pains me to see them be like, yep, it really does.
Well, dude. So okay, fine if you want to do it to yourself.
Yeah.
But then the fact that you think you can look at your friend and be like,
how come you didn't get vaccinated?
But you're not doing it.
Oh my god, disgusting.
You're not gonna throw the thing in your arm that we know nothing about. You're not. Shame on you.
Oh my god.
You fucking asshole.
Oh my god. Like, and it's like they're making patches, they're making stickers, like vaccine passports. Like, I got vaccinated. Matter of fact, I'm almost getting ready to hop on this side.
We are not anti-vax here.
I'm not anti-vax. I'm really not. But like, I am anti 1.0 vaccination. I don't never get the 1.0 vaccination.
We're on like number 3 or 4 though. Like, don't you think iteration now? We're like,
they haven't said anything yet. Like, they need to announce that there's like a 2.0, a 3.0 version, or like a 1.2. Like, I don't, dude.
Could you imagine if they actually did that? If Moderna said, "Hey, just so you know, don't freak out."
Yeah.
The first one was not great.
Not great. You'd be like, oh.
So if you come today, we'll give you one that works.
Yeah, that's why they can't do it. They can never do it.
They could never have a point Moderna version 2 or
never. They'll probably do it in silence. Dead silence.
They might be doing that.
They might do it in silence, but technically they have to clear it again.
But they wouldn't tell.
But they wouldn't tell anybody. So I'm like,
so I would trust it more today than I did like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But that's fucked up to say that.
Yeah.
Because it shouldn't be different.
Mm-mm.
But it probably is a little different.
Dude, I'm just.
Or
saying.
they just run with it. Or they go, this is what we got cleared. We've learned a lot, but we got to run with it.
I want to know, like, first of all,
You think the vaccine does have any calories in it?
Probably. I don't know. It makes it a little chubbier.
Great idea. Yeah.
A little bit of inflammation, a tad.
Maybe a little testosterone.
That's
Maybe some estrogen.
Estrogen, I don't know. Like maybe the Johnson Johnson, a family company, one has it. I don't know. Like you know. So I just think it's a little weird because yeah, rush vaccine, dude. Like I barely got the flu vaccine, and we're probably on like version 28. Like I just think it's odd. So
yeah, I have no problem with it. Neighbor shaming is crazy.
Yeah, do not neighbor shame me. You know, I've been taking vitamins and somehow I haven't caught corona yet, and knocking on wood. But let's not shame people for not
wanting to put something in your body you know nothing about.
You know nothing about, and nor do you, by the way. Like that you have no one knows.
I just feel like there's only a few people being honest enough saying we don't know.
Yeah.
That's not to say that like it's a bad thing. I just don't know what the frick it is. No one does.
Right. Does I can't even. I would say, does the person the Pfizer CEO, does he have the vaccine? But even if he did, he's also like a chemical guy, so like he probably just did it for the shits and giggles, and he has a way to probably flush it out somehow. But like, I don't know.
Just trust the system, whatever.
Trust the system, bro. Just trust it, bro. It'll be okay.
It sounds crazy.
It's not like you know it's not like a U.S. You know, it's not like we have all these problems. And oh, you know what, Bill Burr actually made a really good point. And he was like, complaining. He's like, "Oh, you motherfuckers!" Because he's pro-vaccine, and he got the vaccine, Bill Burr. And he was like, "Oh, you know, you people want to talk about getting the vaccine. I don't want to get the vaccine now. I wanted to get the vaccine back then when they were doing it right." And he was like, back then when they were doing it right, like back then when there was like racism, back then when there was like Jim Crow laws, back then when like doing all this terrible shit, back then when they were doing it right, like what are you talking about? Doing what, bro?
So is he getting burned for that, or that was his point?
No, that he's like that was his point. Like how what are you talking about back then when they were doing it right? Like now they're doing it as right as they can.
For sure.
Yeah. Well,
I totally believe. I don't believe that people are like intentionally negatively giving us something horrible.
Yeah.
I think that science has obviously advanced itself into like a superior category.
Right.
But I also know that we still live in a world that chances make champions.
Right. Exactly.
And we're still playing those games. We're rolling dice more than we really wish we were.
Rolling dice. And if we start this vaccine passport shit, I'm gonna be so unhappy. I can't even stress.
But if they started doing more things where, if you had to try, like that's the sketchy part. Like, if they started forcing it more, then I'd probably just do it.
Yeah,
because I'd be like, shoot.
But
whatever.
But
then it's like the most messed up thing.
Yeah, that is the most messed up thing. Like they're gonna force you to take the vaccine to travel, bro. Come on, bro. That's just that alone. Like, come on, bro. Come on.
Like, what's so interesting, right?
Yeah.
Let's move this even into the direction of parallel thinking.
Yeah.
Forcing vaccines to travel sounds disgusting.
Beyond.
Most people could agree on that.
Yeah.
But somehow but then we also, the same group is just saying like, but you shouldn't have to force someone to have an ID to vote.
Yeah.
So like, I should be able to inject this into someone's body.
Right.
Everybody should do it.
Everybody should, yeah.
But it's disgusting if you ask somebody, hey, do you have an address? Do you live here?
Yeah.
Do you have a card? It's like, that's where it's like Republicans and Democrats. It's confusing of like where we take the road, where it's like how it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it was like the Marjorie Green or whatever her name was, the crazy chick in Georgia, and with the guns and stuff. She's like, "How vaccine passport? How dare you?" And she was like literally the one who'd be like, "Voting ID, you better have an ID."
Yeah. Where it's like everybody's on the opposite sides of this.
Opposite sides, and it became political again. Shocker. Which I think is crazy. But like, by the way, I do think you should have an ID. But I mean, hey, if you don't have it, have some form of ID at some level. I mean, I do think it's a little weird that we do vote without IDs. I do think that's a tad off.
My only thing, like, I don't know. To be completely honest with you, I don't know enough about this Georgia thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I should, but then again, to be completely honest, it doesn't affect us in California.
Yeah.
To say that it doesn't affect our culture in general, I get that.
Okay.
That point. I just haven't had time to look into it because it doesn't affect my life. Maybe it's because I'm a bad white guy.
No.
But when it comes to like, so it's not just about IDs down there, though, right?
Yeah. So Georgia passed a very suppressive voting law recently, and it was really gross. Like I didn't like it at all. But anyway, basically, if you look back at the vote, like what happened in Georgia, like basically Georgia was one of the states that changed the outcome of the election, essentially. And it was
Which started brewing with Abrams.
Yeah.
Right. So Abrams, she believes that her election was stolen from her. A lot of people would concur with that.
Yeah.
And then so Stacey Abrams gets it stolen, but you see this momentum grow from that, which then ends up overturning.
Yeah.
Kind of flipping Georgia.
So Stacey Abrams was just out there saying like everybody go vote, right? Everybody just get out, vote. Like they're setting up organizations to like help everyone vote. Right?
Okay.
And if you looked, basically the Georgia election was decided in its cities, in its major cities, and in certain specific areas. A lot of the outbound areas in Georgia like voted red.
Yeah,
Okay.
which that's kind of how it works in most metropolitan areas.
Most areas. Okay.
Metropolitan areas are more Democratic, and you get out in the kind of the boonies, and
Right.
it's more Republican.
Right. So, but the thing is, when I remember watching this like play out on Twitter when the election was happening, and like it was basically saying like a lot of the red areas, like a lot of the places that like had all these voting red essentially, or certain counties had more election polls to go vote at, more places to go do it. So therefore, like very little lines.
Just the per capita-ness with all this stuff. That's what's going on.
Yeah, hold on, let me explain. So like, all the people were voting, doing their thing, but like a lot in certain communities, certain black communities, in certain cities, there was a lot of there weren't a lot of voting polls per capita. There weren't a lot of places to go do your thing, and not a lot of people know or do a lot of mail-in voting there. Sure.
Did that have anything to do with voter registration?
No.
So like
I'm not
you
sure.
know what I
I'm
mean?
not sure.
Like so like
I'm not
like,
sure. Yeah.
This would be my only potential just wonder.
Yeah.
Does it have to do with like census and have to do with voter registration? So like let's say a bunch of people weren't registered in that area to vote, then that would determine how many polls.
Okay.
So let's say like potentially those areas were just under-registered.
Okay.
So then there wasn't enough polls.
Good point. I don't know the answer.
But I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that. It's a great point. I'll look that up later.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so basically, in certain cities, certain areas, there weren't enough voting polls. Maybe because of voter registration. I'm not really sure the answer. But basically, Georgia passed a law to like do everything that was the opposite of what actually happened in Georgia to get everything that's happening in Georgia to get like the Democrats vote. Like okay, essentially, excuse me, I'm explaining this horribly, but basically like they were like, because they were limiting polls in certain areas, what they were doing is saying like, okay, Georgia passed a law saying you can no longer mail in vote unless you're over 65 years old.
Yeah.
We are going to limit. We're basically going. This is like another part of it, and then basically saying that you cannot pass out water bottle. You can't pass out water to voters anymore in Georgia, which is beyond crazy. So like people who are in long lines will just bounce. So it's like you can control the vote that way, because what you're going to do is you're going to add more voting polls in the areas that you like and take away voting polls in areas that you don't like, based on whoever runs the state voting area polls. Yeah. And if you can't wait in line for long periods of time, you can't pass out water anymore, like then you're not going to want to wait in line. You're going to leave. And that was that's when it really hit in the nail in the coffin, where people say like you can't pass out water, because that really expresses saying like that means in the long waiting lines that there were people waiting hours and hours and hours won't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So
and that's where
and by the way,
there was a discrepancy in what I was hearing from the very brief thing that I did hear. Like it seemed like Republicans felt like they were talking about more like bribery in lines with like some sort of like not water but like some sort of bribe. And then the Democrats were saying you're blocking water, and the Republicans were going, no, we're trying to block bribing.
What does water have to do with bribing?
That's where like I don't know where that, and it would be fun to like actually look more into that of like what's that real like understanding of it.
Mm-hmm.
But so it's been pretty unanimous from my buddies on the left that this is like the most disgusting type of voter suppression that they've ever experienced in their lifetime. Right. I haven't heard a lot of right wing people even discuss it to quite to the extent.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's quite some of the quietness of it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that an ID is being racist.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so.
I think it's kind of awkwardly racist to say that Black and brown communities don't have access to IDs.
Mm.
And if that was the issue, let's fix how we get IDs more than we figure. Like, if you have to use a license to get into a bar or to get a job or to get pulled over by a cop or like to register for a credit card or to get a house, I just don't think an ID is inappropriate to vote.
I agree. I think I always when I was young, I thought you had to like scan your ID to vote. I really genuinely thought that.
So when people get kind of red-faced about like red-faced in the sense of like get angry about, but you don't understand that Black people can't get IDs.
That's weird.
I go,
wait, like what?
Maybe I don't, but that seems crazy to me. And if that's the case,
yeah.
Let's fight for changing how you get an ID then.
Yeah.
But I thought what it takes to get an ID is like
you go to the DMV, you just fill out a paper, and then you get it in the mail. I thought that's you pay like $20, $27 or something like that.
Yeah, so if like it seems easy.
I thought that's what it was.
If it's that difficult, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Not about how difficult it is to vote with an ID.
Yeah, and by the way, we do have 4 more years until that happens again. Because a lot of times we like to talk about the issues like the day of, like it's like I don't get why that happens all the time.
So
like,
until I change my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Dude, the whole ID thing.
No,
like I just haven't seen people like marching on the street saying, as a Black or brown person, I am not able to get an ID in America.
I never heard that either.
If that was the march,
That's
I would
weird.
be like, dude.
Yeah.
Let's figure this out.
Yeah, like my guy, like we need IDs.
Shit.
Yeah.
That sounds like the most disgusting type of suppression ever.
Yeah.
So if that's the issue, let's march.
Yeah, no, totally.
But when it comes down to voting, I go, until I know that's a bigger issue, then you need an ID to vote. Sorry, bro.
Yeah. But I don't think the issue behind the Georgia voting was the ID. I'll come back to this. We'll come back to this maybe at the next episode.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, we should all have IDs for the most part. But I just think, when we are suppressing like a lot of voter provisions and limiting ballot boxing and boxes and not allowing people to wait in line, if you're going to not allowing people to have food and water while they're waiting in line, if you're going to make the lines long, then
that seems stupid.
That seems beyond. So
I do think that like opening up more time to vote that seems like a positive thing.
Yeah, I feel like voting should be not. Why is it one day?
I do understand how like mailing could potentially be taken advantage of, and I think we should think about how to do that better.
Yeah.
Because there's a huge group of people that are concerned by it, and if you have people that are concerned by how you can vote, we should let's just talk about it.
Right.
It doesn't have to get overly politicized all the time.
Right.
When we're trying to like improve it. But taking away the opportunity to vote and like the time frame, that seems pretty weird.
Right. It's just a little odd. So I don't know. I will come back to this next week because I am getting a tad bit tired.
Well, I think I'm a long hauler.
Yeah.
So I think my energy is I have low energy guy now.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to pick it up.
Yeah. No. It's totally fine. It's totally cool. So other than that, I think the last thing we need to talk about is cannabis is legal in New York. Fucking finally. So all you people that have been selling shit carts and going to Connecticut, I know who you are because I've been there. They're selling it all over the Vermont and all this stuff. You're kind of out of business. Sorry, bro. I wish you the best. But
how much do you think like FedEx's delivery gets affected? What if like FedEx was against legalization of marijuana, where they're like, you all are fucking our business up?
They wouldn't be because they're making so much money from it. FedEx, UPS, and USPS. They don't. I'm not gonna get into details because I'm gonna probably get charged for a federal crime.
No, I'm saying that the legalization
is
affecting their business.
Yeah.
In a negative way.
Yeah, technically.
Because a lot of people are probably sending weed into
different stateside, yeah,
into New York.
Yeah. And no, that's 100%.
And those
true.
packages aren't coming in anymore.
No, they're gone. They're going to be selling right there. But you know, it's funny. When I was in New York last, I was in Manhattan. They were selling weed. I bought weed like up in Manhattan, like in a place, like in a storefront. Like this was before it was legal. Like this was in January.
So they just stopped looking.
Yeah, they just stopped looking a long time ago. Like this full blown storefront, like looked like a place right here in LA.
No way.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was shit weed and it was shit joint, but
so that'll all change now.
But I mean, yeah, I guess the weed's gonna get better eventually. So they can finally stop talking about California weed and just grow their shit indoors and then stop bothering us about it because we can have our own weed and make our shit better. So anyway,
there we go. It's beautiful.
I'm not gonna talk like how I'm a stoner. I'm not gonna talk about like all my crimes that I've committed. But yeah, we're gonna go from there. I don't know, man. I'm feeling good. How about you?
Yeah, I feel like a long hauler today. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm a little tired. We're back coming from about 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Of not podcasting. We're gonna continue to podcast. Our curly-headed overlord is finally showing back up.
Yeah.
And
we got to get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta get the fuck out of here before she attacks us. And yeah, I wish you the best. This is Smart and Mild. We are on YouTube, Spotify.
Episode 13.
We'll be back next week, next Wednesday at 6 p.m. And we love to see you then. Love, peace, and chicken. That's curly-headed overlord right there.
Watch out.
Uh-oh.